Myself, Sunil Ramakrishna. Here, basically, we are talking about one topic, that is cities, basically. Currencies, ideas, global warming. Global warming, solution, these cities. So, this basically connects to like this, basically. One of the person told that 20, 200 people, basically, who infected, basically, they basically converted into disease, and they basically, one of the person told that basically we will kill this 200 people, basically. Then in future, basically, it might possible that this energy will become more powerful in universe, and again it will attack it, again it will attract to one of the people, and that time basically the entire world will might get suffer, basically, because doctors basically have to solve this error, basically. If they are not solving, then basically in future, basically, this is going to convert to big energy, and it's going to come to the earth planet only, basically. So that type of thing also basically there, but lots of people says that that is all wrong, basically, because in corona, basically, more than 50 crore people died, basically. Anything has happened, basically? Nothing has happened, no, from the universe side, basically. Earth planet is moving same way, basically, was as basically it was moving. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened, basically. Anything basically has happened? No, basically nothing has happened, basically. Few people says that basically it might happen, na, basically. Suddenly, basically anything basically can happen. This type of people also basically are there, basically. Because they say that basically we saw that type of thing also, basically. Suddenly the things basically is happening. So that type of people also basically are there, basically. So here basically what we are discussing. Here we are discussing 200 people, basically, problem not solved, it connected to the disease, and the another is the blood groups data basically connected to the disease, basically, right? Blood group owner basically got some problem, then basically that story converted into the disease means earthquake connected, and earthquake basically connected to lots of incidents, basically, and they, the incidents group basically were tracking the incidents that are basically we list, basically we have already taken which are those country, basically. So that country basically started tracking, basically, this energy generated, after this energy generated, this energy connected to this person, that energy also connected to person. Energy means cities, basically. He person visited this city, in city this area basically he visited, that energy connected, that means entire blood cells basically is connecting, basically. He is going there, so that energy connected, he connected to that blood cells, like this, basically, and literally the city energy basically connects to his blood cells, basically, like this, basically. Somewhere basically he got problem, basically, that blood cells data basically they tracked, basically, that this was that person, basically, who actually created the problem, basically. So they basically tracked it, basically. They basically tracked that blood cells, basically, that this was the blood. Even basically you, in phone, basically, if that basically happens, then also basically that type of equipments basically are there, that basically can track, basically. That type of equipment basically are there, basically, in the with the China, with the Japan, with the Canada. That type of equipment basically are there, basically, and that basically connects with the India also, basically. Why? Because in future basically anything going to happen, if India is ignoring that, basically, then due to India basically the world is going to suffer, basically. Not only world, the entire universe is going to suffer. So that type of thing basically universe group will never tolerate it. So they basically literally basically do some action against India also, basically. That is 200 people, basically. That action basically they are 100% going to take, basically. If this type of thing happened, basically. In really basically this type of thing has not happened, basically. Then what was one of the person told that what was Corona then? Then into the DSCR, basically. You are correct, basically. So nobody ignores anything, basically. So like this, basically, assume that basically India basically has done some problem, basically. So due to Indian businessmen, basically, and due to Indian Supreme Court, Indian High Court, basically, the world came into trouble, basically. That type of thing also basically can happen. Then one of the person told that basically we, India basically has control. Canada also basically they are basically in pocket, basically. How basically you can say that Canada is in pocket, basically? Then into the basically, do you know basically the investment basically that is happening in Canada? Who is doing it? Just see, basically. Then it into the yes, yeah, basically. That means Canada basically is under basically India, basically. That means Canada is also going to suffer. One person told this also basically, because universe group basically never leave anyone basically. Then one of the person told that basically in universe group basically also our people basically are there basically. Then basically let basically see what are the things going to happen basically. One of the people told that basically, do you know basically in outside India basically lots of Indian people basically were there basically who are at the top most post basically. Then into the years lots of people basically came back to India after Corona. Then he told that yes, yeah, basically you are correct. Before Corona actually, not after Corona, before Corona basically. Then he told them basically why basically they might have came here basically. Lots of people say that mafia underworld people also basically came. Then one of the person told that basically what actually they were doing there here basically. They are doing some duty basically of particular department. Particular department. So like this basically one of the person told this type of things basically also happens. Like this one of the person told that 20 percentage error basically is there basically, that is 100% sure basically. We have saw basically, we actually just now saw the example of 200 people and the example of blood group owners groups data basically, that also we saw the example, right? Problems comes basically you have to solve the problem basically, there is no option basically. For example, 1% World Bank basically told that basically we are trying to solve the problem of Sunil Nair, but we are not able to solve here basically. But as the time will pass, then basically the energy is going to generate. One of the person told that basically we will do one thing, we will kill Sunil Nair. Then one of the person told that kill, then basically see basically what are the things going to happen. One of the person told this also basically. One of the software company owner actually told this. From USA basically. This was also somebody tracked it basically. How basically he tracked that I don't know. But that area basically connected to energy basically, and slowly basically it is going to spread to the USA basically, and USA basically will have something impact basically. Lots of people says that tsunami happening basically, that are basically connected basically. So in detail basically we are going to discuss actually each and everything basically, because each and every city are connected with set of words basically, set of words. So one of the person told that basically America is created from which words basically. Then he told that America is created from C blood group, D blood group, E blood group. This all data basically has given the blood group, no, basically. From on the basis of this all data basically are created. And few blood group basically they don't enter only basically in the USA basically. Because they are not created, no, basically. They have not created the data basically. They have not created the data. That's why they basically not allowed to enter basically. Then he told that basically, oh. Then one of the person told that uh, this earthquake basically is connecting to like this basically. Then he told that the action basically the group basically who takes, that are basically the country basically, we have that also basically we have solved. So one of the person told that what action basically they takes basically. Action means for example one blood group honor basically example I have already taken, right? So now basically the incidents happen. They tracked that from mobile also basically they tracks basically from where the that particular mobile basically was came. That also up to that level basically they track basically. Up to that level basically equipments basically have with the groups basically. Like this basically. Then he told that we tracked that basically data. Now we will try to solve out that decision and try to solve out that error basically from that city basically. If we will try, if it gets solved basically, then it's okay, otherwise we will finish that area basically. Literally basically they try to solve, and then basically it was not solved basically, and they literally finished that area, yeah, basically. Up to what level basically the energy groups are basically, just see basically up to what level the energy groups are basically. So in next video basically we are going to see what basically that energies are.